previous videos, we talked about each biome separately. Now we're going to be having a mass review on all of them. First, let's start off with the tundra biome. The tundra biome is located near the North and South Pole. Some main characteristics of this biome is the permafrost. Permafrost means frozen soil. So the soil here is very frozen, not allowing much plants to grow on it. During the winter, the permafrost is buried through snow. However, in the summer, it's buried through the snow that thaws during the summer. So some plants will be up to knee height, no more than that. The precipitation here is very low. Also, some adaptations that the animals have made here is by either migrating or having a winter or heat conservation coats to protect them from the cold. The human impact in the tundra is global warming. Next, we'll be moving on to the taiga. The taiga is also known as the coniferous or the boreal forest. Here, a main characteristic of this biome would be the evergreens. And the evergreens is a tree. The tree is shaped in a way like this, somewhat like your Christmas tree. Here, when snow falls on the tree, because of its pointy or down-like branches, the snow is able to fall off quickly, not breaking the branches. Plus, also, the leaves, they never lose the leaves during the winter. They can immediately start photosynthesis. The precipitation here is moderate. There is a mild summer with a cold winter. And the impact in the taiga is by people cutting down the trees here, using the trees for lumber. Next, we'll be moving on to the temperate deciduous forest. The temperate deciduous forest, a main characteristic here would be the dense tree mix. Over here, not that much sunlight is able to pass through the high, large trees. Also, the soil is also fertile here, allowing most trees to grow. The precipitation is moderate, having a mild summer or a better summer than taiga, but also a cold winter. The human impact here would be cutting down the trees for space and also for lumber too. Next is the grassland. I'll be moving on to the temperate grassland. The temperate grassland is known for its grass, because the grass just stretches out throughout the land. Also, here the precipitation would be moderate. Also, the summers are hot while the winters are cold. Also, some plant adaptations that have been made through the temperate grasslands are in the winter, when there's a harsh weather, the grass is able to lose some of its leaves so that it can conserve water. Also, some animal adaptations to the grasslands would be that they have a special vegetarian diet so that they can support the needs of their living for their food. Grasslands can also be called through different names at different places. In Australia, they're known as downs. In North America, they're known as prairies. And in Eurasia, they're known as steppes. Human impact in this area would be by creating ranches and farms. Next, we'll be talking about the tropical grasslands, also known as the savannas. Some main characteristics is again the grass, but there's also some longer grass and sometimes even trees that grow in this area. Also, there's not as many herbivores in this area than there is in the temperate grassland. Here, you can find some lions and other carnivores, like hyenas. Also, the precipitation here is moderate. The soil is not that fertile, like the temperate grassland. The human impact here would be by taking up space and destroying the natural habitat in the tropical grasslands. Next, we'll be moving on to the deserts. The main characteristic in the desert biome is known for its sand. Also, the precipitation here is very low. Some plant life in this area would be cacti. Cacti here are able to retain water better, and so transpiration doesn't happen here. their roots are very shallow near the ground so that they can catch any water that falls on the ground. The animals here are nocturnal. Nocturnal means sleeping during the daytime and waking up and hunting during the night. So the reason why they do this is because when they're out in the daytime, they lose most of their water, and it's also extremely hot, so they lose lots of water. However, when it's nighttime, they don't lose as much water as they do in the daytime. Also, there's not just hot deserts, there's also cold deserts. Cold deserts is basically not exactly the opposite, but the temperatures here are much more colder. The main characteristics of finding out what a desert is if it has low precipitation and not that much plant life and animal life. Known deserts that I can name is the Great Victorian Desert in Australia, the Sahara Desert in northern Africa, also known as the largest hot desert, Death Valley in California, also known as the hottest desert ever recorded. And some cold deserts I can name is the Gobi Desert, known in Mongolia, basically entirely cold, and the largest, coldest desert is the Antarctic Desert. The human impact in this area would be by getting mining here, because in the desert you can find a lot more minerals like oil and gold here. Also, a lot of people find the desert touristic by hiking and playing with the sand. Next, we will be moving on to the rainforest. The rainforest, even though it covers only 6% of the land, it actually is home to 50% of all animal and plant species in the earth. Also, 40% of all the oxygen is created through here. And I think you could tell by the name, rainforest stands for rain, which there's a lot of rain, and in the forest, there's an abundance of trees living there. Also, the rainforest levels are so big that we have to split them into 4 parts to get a better understanding of it. The first part is the emergent layer. The emergent layer is where most of the tree tips live here and try to create photosynthesis due to the sun's energy. Next will be the canopy. The canopy is the loudest layer of them all. Most branches live here, holding an abundance of fruits along with it, and also due to the amount of communication animals make with each other, makes it the loudest layer of them all. Next is the understory layer. It's much more darker than the emergent or the canopy because it's underdone. In the canopy, the branches make somewhat of like an umbrella shape, blocking most of the sunlight, not able to reach the understory. In the understory, only twigs and branches and the tree barks live here. And also some owls and birds like to live here too. Next is the forest floor. The forest floor contains of many animals, mostly predators and prey. Some predators you can find here that are very well known is jaguars and tigers. And the reason why the jaguars and tigers have like a lot of stripes and dots in the back is because they have to camouflage in the darkness. Also, only 2% of light goes and reaches the forest floor. The only major plant life in the forest floor would be moss, and a lot of decomposers stay here. Even though the forest floor has like an abundance of trees, very tall trees, the soil here isn't that fertile. Of all these, the most fertile soil would be either the temperate deciduous forest or the temperate grassland. The most least fertile soil here would be the tundra. I'm going to be talking where each zone is located. So in the tundra biome, it is located in the Arctic Circle. In the Taiga, it's located in and under the Arctic Circle. Also, the Taiga is below the tundra. It also comes in between the Arctic Circle and the Tropic of Cancer. Next is the temperate deciduous forest. It's right under the Taiga. The temperate deciduous forest is located between the Arctic Circle and the Tropic of Cancer. This zone is called the temperate zone. Here, as you can see, The temperate deciduous forest and also the temperate grassland is located in the temperate zone, which is also located between the Arctic Circle and the Tropic of Cancer. So it's located between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle. Now we're going to be talking about the tropical grassland or the savannas, and here it's located near the equator. Here, the tropical grassland is located between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. And that also goes with the same thing with the deserts too. Rainforest is located near or right on the equator. Now that we've explained everything, this is all the 7 major land biomes on Earth.